I'm Scott Allen Miller, and on today's episode, we are going to be breaking down the LUTs in the drone bundle from TheLUTBay so that you can get a feel of what these LUTs might look like when used in your projects. I also use this as a way to see what they would look like in my projects. We have 10 LUTs that we're going to be sampling today, one from each of the collections, each of the sets within the bundle. And the way that we do this is I keep this in GoPro flat. We're filming all this with GoPro, so you have a reference point, and we're starting the first one now. We have 5 seconds of it at flat for your eyes to adjust. And our first LUT that we're going to demo is Mavic Pro. This is from the drone bundle, and the pack within the drone bundle is cinematic. So our first 4 are considered the cinematic, and this is Mavic Pro that we're looking at right now. We have 10 seconds left. This gives you, and I move around intentionally so you can see how the color plays in a number of different locations. And 2, 1, and then we go back to flat for 5 seconds so your eyes have time to adjust, and then we get ready for the next one. And this is Landscape Pro Plus. Now I have no idea why it's called Pro in the first place, let alone Plus, but this is Landscape Pro Plus. I'm not aware of there being a Landscape or a Landscape Pro without the Plus, but that's what we have. So we get 30 seconds on that. We're gonna move just a little bit to get away from the squeaking. And back to GoPro flat. Our next one up is Aerial HDR Plus. This is High Dynamic Range Plus in the name, but it doesn't actually give you a high dynamic range, of course, so I'm not sure why they use that name. I assume it is meant for use in situations where you have a high dynamic range already. All right, we got 10 seconds left. So these, it's very important to note, I'm gonna have to continue that thought after the next one. All right, we are now heading back to GoPro flat. And our last one in the cinematic collection within the drone bundle is Cinematic Drone. Cinematic Drone. Now all of these, remember, this is a drone pack, so it's designed for foliage and buildings for city scenes. So there's really very little care put in necessarily for skin tone rendering. So don't be worried if skin tones don't look that great. That's not why you have these particular LUTs. All right, back to gray. Now our next collection is film. I don't know what makes one cinema, one film. Film drone is our first one in that collection. Now this collection is 6 instead of 4, so we have a few to go through. And we're about halfway through. So I'm doing my best to show you a bunch of different backgrounds so you can see how these are gonna play on different types of filming. I'm filming this in the afternoon at about 4:45, which for a drone is probably pretty typical. All right, we're on flat again. And our next one is City Drone. City Drone, this is obviously meant for flying over cities. Not very surprising there. Hopefully these look pretty cool. Remember, skin tones, not so important. There's always a lot of noise when I film here. It's a little bit tough, just a wee bit. All right, now we're back to flat. And our next one is going to be Dark Cinema. Notice the name has nothing to do with drone, it's just dark cinema. My guess is that this one is intended for a lot broader use, but some of these just kind of get put into these packs because they need to have a set of things. So there's all kinds of different use cases, and as always, these are just LUTs. They're just color packs. You can use them for anything you want, for any type of creativity, whatever meets your needs. All right, back to flat. We have 3 left. This next one is Faded Cine. So Faded Cinema, but they tried to have a cool name for it. Now, I mentioned this, and each time we do this, every one of these has between 6 and 15 different color tweaks available within the LUT. So Faded Cine, for example, has many, and we're picking just one, which I put the number up there with the name, so that when you're looking at it, you know which one I chose for this. I try to pick one that looks the best in this scenario. All right, we're back to flat, and coming up, this one is Drone Artist. Drone Artist. So if you were going to pick one of these LUTs packs to work with, you would still want to go through between like 6 and 15 different tweaks in any given shot to choose what looks best for you. Some of them have higher in contrast, some are lower contrast, some are brighter, some are darker, some have different highlights. They do vary, sometimes quite a bit, sometimes very subtly. All right, we're back on flat. We have one last one, and our final one is Urban Drone. Urban Drone, again, I don't know how that's different than City Drone, but it all comes down to the colors. And there's lots of different ways that we commonly show city scenes or buildings or foliage or whatever. So there's lots of different approaches that can be taken. Names are difficult to come up with. And again, it's all about your creativity. All right, we're wrapping it up. That's the last one in the drone collection. I love doing these because I really love the color grading styles and just learning different looks that you can get out of things, and each different one is useful in a different scenario for different artistic reasons, and I hope that this is really useful to you. Please remember to like and subscribe. Check out my previous videos, which include the Action Cam Pack and the bundle and the wedding bundle from TheLUTBay, and I will be doing one coming up sometime soon of the Ultimate bundle, which is the really big long one that'll have all kinds of variety in it. Each of these is supposedly very purpose designed. That one is very general case with a lot of options. If you enjoy this, remember to support us here on the channel. I will see you all next time.